everybody and welcome back to the Ghost Glider. I'm Matt and today I'm going to be showing you how to do the Astra Malorum guide for Black Ops 7 Zombies. So before you jump in, there are a few things that I would recommend, and this time I'm going to go full in on this because there are quite a few things that I would recommend having. So for your actual loadout, I would use any form of AR. Because, high firepower, so on and so forth, and there's a few steps specifically for getting the wonder weapon that you need a long range weapon. So shotguns are kind of out of the picture, especially if you want to do that step, but if you have another player who wants to use a shotgun, that is all fine, and for the boss, it is best to use long range. Melee weapon, this is literally anything that you want to choose. I usually go with the basic knife, but the ballistic knife is now in the game, so if you want to get those challenges done, or if you have the challenges done already, ballistic knife is pretty good. For field upgrade, I would go with one of two things. Either A, Ether Shroud, the best option, and the augments I would have on that are Group Shroud if you have multiple players, or if you're solo, then Burst Dash, and then for your minor augments, either Extra Charge or Extension. And then I would have a few things for Frenzied Guard, because if you're solo, for the boss fight, I would really suggest switching this Frenzied Guard. But for Frenzied Guard, I would have Frenzy Fire, where you use ammo from stock, and then also have either Repair Boost or Extension. And if you have the extra augment, you can have both of them. For tacticals, you can bring in whatever you want, either stims, decoys, whatever. For lethals, I would take in either a Semtex or a Combat Axe. And then for your Gobblegum packs, really whatever you feel most comfortable with. I would suggest bringing in Shields Up and Power Keg, however, because those are really good for the boss. And then if you're going to choose an operator, I would choose a dedicated operator. Honestly, there's a Nikolai Easter egg in there, and if you want to get that done, you can get quite a few points and quite a few salvage from that. Alright, officially getting into the game. The first thing you want to do is get Pack-a-Punch. To do this, you want to open up the map. Eventually, you'll get to the Pack-a-Punch room. Then it'll tell you to find two objects. One object is in the Illuminarium. You'll find it somewhere in the area where there's a dead corpse and then an object right beside the corpse. And then the other one is in the solar system room. And once again, there's going to be a dead corpse and there's going to be an object next to the corpse. It can spawn at quite a few different locations, but it's pretty easy to spot nonetheless. Then you want to go right back to the Pack-a-Punch room, interact with the organ across from the Pack-a-Punch, and you'll be able to craft. Then you'll be put in a mini lockdown where you have to protect the organ, and then Pack-a-Punch is active. As soon as you get Pack-a-Punch done, first thing you want to do is get Pack 1. Now, your first step is officially getting the Wonder Weapon. First thing you want to do is shoot Mr. Peaks inside of Tessie right here, and the hood should pop up and you'll be able to collect the car battery. Then you want to collect the Cyro Freeze ammo mod, and there's going to be crystals around the map, and you want to shoot 3, and they will drop crystals themselves, and you want to pick those 3 up. Then around the map, there's going to be these street lights. One of them will be blinking. You want to shoot the blinking one, and it will drop some wires. Next thing you want to do is you want to interact with the organ across from the Pack-a-Punch machine. Once you do that, there's going to be vents across this room. You want to find every single one of those vents and memorize their locations. Then you're going to find the one that is steaming. You want to shoot that and quickly find the next one that is steaming. If you have earbuds in or you're listening to the audio, you can hear it steaming actually. You want to shoot 6 or 7 of these, and eventually the observer above the Pack-a-Punch machine will move. And again, you have to be very quick about it. If you fail, don't worry, just interact with the organ again and look for those steaming ones. You don't have to wait till the next round. By this time, an Oscar should have spawned. Whatever round it is that Oscar spawned, you want to make sure you do not kill him. But what you want to do is eventually you'll deal enough damage and a little shield will go around him, and a few drones as well. You want to destroy one of those drones, and the first one that you destroy, you'll be able to pick up. Then, besides the organ, will be a viewfinder. You want to interact with that, and you can move it, and you want to make sure it hovers over the sun. Make sure Oscar is by you. When you're in the viewfinder, you don't take damage. Just to let you know, just make sure Oscar is by you and quickly find the sun. If you do collect the sun or go into the sun, then a laser should go off. I will let you know it does kick you out after a few seconds, but you can go right back in. But again, you want to go in, you want to make sure you hover over the sun and a laser will go off. You want to guide Oscar into that laser and he should explode. Now what you want to do is you want to wait for another Oscar round. So this should be another round or 2 before another Oscar spawns. While you wait for that, there's 2 things that you can do. In the museum over here, you can break the glass and you can pick up this Bonesaw. The next thing you can do is in the viewfinder is interact with the viewfinder and find Mars. And you want to make sure it goes directly into the center. Remember the numbers underneath. So right here in the corner, it's going to say DEC. There's going to be 4 numbers, and you want to remember those numbers because that's going to be a code later on. Hopefully by now, another Oscar would have spawned. What you want to do is take him to the laser trap in the Luminarium. What you're going to be able to do is insert some of those parts that you collected into the trap, and the first trap activation should be free. Make sure Oscar is in that room and activate the trap. Then you're going to be doing a mini lockdown. You can survive, you can kill zombies, whatever you do, make sure Oscar survives. At the end of the lockdown, Oscar will explode on his own, and that will be that one done. Next thing you want to do is wait for another Oscar to spawn. Now that the third Oscar has spawned, you want to take him to the museum, and over here is going to be a rocket. When he is close by, you want to interact with the rocket, and you have placed the 3 crystals. The rocket should blast off, I guess, and there should be blue fire coming out of it. You want to make sure Oscar is really close to that blue fire when the countdown goes off. Once it hits 0, a mini explosion will go off and Oscar will die, and you'll be able to pick up the LGM-1. Next thing you want to do, and this is, thank God, the final Oscar step, wait for yet another Oscar to spawn. Follow him while he's in search mode. This is when his light is yellow and he has yet to spot you. What you can do is you can crouch behind him. Don't get too close though. I would keep at least a 10 or more meter distance so he doesn't spot you. You can kill zombies, don't fire at him, and just make sure you don't aggro him, I guess. If you do aggro him, all you can do is go to the other part of the map and he'll de-aggro eventually, and then go right back and find him again when he's in this yellow state. What you're going to do is you're going to follow him and he'll play these victim logs, and usually this happens after round 10. I'm pretty sure it's the second victim log he plays, and it's going to be off of Thurston. Thurston will talk about something and he says, don't forget, and then he'll say 3 planet names. You want to remember those planet names because those planets are going to be used for a code. Those planets that he says are a specific number. So if he says Mercury, that's 1. If he says Venus, that's 2. If he says Earth, that's 3. If he says Mars, that's 4. Jupiter 5, Saturn 6, Uranus 7, Neptune 8, and Pluto 9. So whatever order he says it. So if he says Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, then that'd be 1, 4, 5. You want to insert that code into this device in the Pack-a-Punch room. Then a platform will drop right next to the Pack-a-Punch, and you'll be able to jump up there, interact the body, and you'll collect the Cyro Key. In this room next to the solar system room is going to be a frozen Cyro, I guess, stasis pod. You want to interact with it, and a mini cutscene where you cut out Thurston's brain is going to happen. Now be very careful because Oscar will teleport to you or an Oscar will spawn on you. He will not aggro right on you right away, so just keep going. Then you want to take the brain to this chiropod in the Luminarium. Then you want to interact with the brain. You'll be in a defend state. You want to defend that chiropod from zombies. Main objective is to protect that chiropod. When done, you want to pick up the brain and you want to take it to the solar system room into this device. Then you want to interact with it again and you'll do a crafting animation. Then it will, on the screen on that device, will list a bunch of book names. It's going to be Dr. Thurston's reading list, and you want to remember those names. Now you can get 3 books, you can get 5 books, or you can get at most 9. If you go on the second floor of the solar system room, there will be this device. You want to insert those 4 numbers that you remembered from the DEC. In the library is going to be 3 statues. And of course, there's going to be a bunch of bookshelves as well. On this wall is the Musica Universalis, the Black Veil, and the Moon Directive. On this wall is statue 2. You can get Ashes and Bones, Echoes of Andromeda, and the Unknowable Void. And then this is number 3, where you can get Pyramids of Cydonia, Silence at Singularity, or Witchlight Codex. Depending on which wall books you get will depend on how many things you get. So if you had the Black Veil and Moon Detective, you would interact with the first statue twice. If you had Ashes and Bones for the second statue, you would interact with it once. And if you had Pyramids of Cydonia, Silence of Singularity, and Witchlight Codex, you would interact with the third statue 3 times. You have to do this very quickly, and you have to interact with all 3 of those with however many books you have on its corresponding wall. If you have done it correctly, if you go up this ladder, a hatch will have opened, and it will give you a planet. Then you want to find where the missing planet is in the solar system room and interact with it. Now there's going to be 3 notes around the map. They're in fixed spawns, and it will give you a direction like NE or NW and a planet. You want to find the notes, and you want to note down what planet it is and what direction it is. So the notes could be on this table on the second floor right here in the solar system room, on the table in the library, and in the table in the laser trap room of the luminarium. So if you had Uranus SW, you would shoot Uranus in the direction of SW. So where the planets are, there's kind of like a compass, and you want to make sure you shoot them in the order of where the compass is. So again, if it says SW, you want to shoot Uranus in the order of SW. If you had Mars and it said NW, you want to put Mars in NW. And if it said Earth E, then you want to put Earth in E. And then if you did do it correctly, you will be able to interact with the brain device right here, and you'll be in a protection stage. During this stage, an Oscar will spawn and shoot drones at the device. You want to shoot the drones shooting at the device and, of course, survive. When done, you will be sent to Mars. As soon as you get to Mars, a canister will be floating in the air and eventually drop in the center. You want to pick up that canister and place it in this device. Then you want to interact with that device and very quickly go to one of the two windows in the back. I would suggest going to the left one because that's the easiest. If you have teammates, have them defend you, and what you want to do is you want to shoot the pillars in this order. The order is back right, back left, front right, front left, and then the center pillar above the device that you just inserted the canister. You're going to continue to shoot that main pillar or orb thingy until anti-gravity goes on, and you'll be able to jump up and collect the flying little bird thingy. You want to place that bird thingy that you just collected in this statue. This step is one of the most not understood steps I have seen. Most of the guides I have seen actually gets this step wrong. If you go back to the real world in Pack-a-Punch Room where the organ is, if you interact with the organ, there's going to be a little computer that shows 5 symbols. These are all the symbols. One of these symbols will be missing and filled in with a blank. The blank looks like a radio wave. So in your game, you might have plus, diamond, X, triangle, and then blank. So that blank, you would automatically assume, okay, that's everything. So when you have all of those, I guess, symbols memorized and you know which one is missing and blah, 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 and you have the order of what they are, you want to go back to Mars, and there's going to be 5 pedestals in Mars. What you want to do is you want to figure out where the pedestal is, get a correct pathing to the next one, and kind of go in the order of where you would go to quickly interact with those in the right order. And then when you are ready and you know you're pathing right, you want to shoot all above the pedestals. There's going to be like a little device, and you want to shoot that with the LGM-1. That activates the pedestals, and you want to interact with the pedestals in the right order. If you do it right, all of the things will glow blue. If you do it wrong, all of them will glow red. In one match, you can get it wrong 3 times before you have to wait till the next round. Just to let you know, as soon as you interact with the organ, it will automatically go to the first symbol. So if it's so long and it's still a wavelength, then that first wavelength or symbol is a blank. I had this problem in my first game, so I just want to make sure you don't have that problem as well. But as soon as all of those are blue, you are officially boss fight ready. So prepare for boss, and what I would do is I would switch to Frenzied Guard. I would level that up to get it all the way, and you have it active and ready. You want to make sure you have Shatter Blast because the boss has armor, and you just want to make sure you have Shatter Blast because it eats through armor. You want to make sure everybody has self revives. I would suggest having score streaks, whatever score streaks you want, or the best score streaks you think you need. All perks are as many perks as you need, and if you have perma perks, that's even better. Tier 3 armor, pack 3 armor, and whoever has the wonder weapon, pack 3 that. And if multiple people have the wonder weapon, then that's even more amazing. And at least 15k points because, again, because the boss eats through your armor, and you're going to need that armor. Okay, whenever you're ready for boss, interact with the brain device or boss. It'll start a vote, and you'll be able to start whenever. As soon as you're ready, there are going to be a bunch of zombies that spawn, and you want to kill them to fill up the farthest right pillar. Be careful because occasionally the boss will shoot lasers at you. So just make sure you don't go in the same pathing as your teammates if you have them. But you have to keep moving because that laser will be a punk. But again, kill zombies until you fill up that laser, And then once it is full, a mini, I guess, shockwave will go off, and you'll be able to interact and craft on the brain device that you originally used to activate the boss. If done correctly, then it should attack the boss, and the boss should take damage. Then you want to repeat that whole thing, but for the left pillar. So again, fill up that pillar, and then interact with the brain device, and it should attack the boss. Then the third time, you have to fill up both pillars, but it fills them both up at the same time, so you don't need to worry. And even at some points, green mist will spawn, so be careful for that. And then again, go over to the device, craft it, and it should attack the boss. Now, you're officially in fight mode. A mini golem type of boss will spawn, and you want to eliminate it. Keep your distance, because when he's close, she does a really strong punch attack that blasts you away and does a huge amount of damage. And she also throws rocks at you that also deal a huge amount of damage. So just keep fighting, and eventually you'll break her armor, and you'll be able to shoot her weak spot. And once you kill that boss, you'll be able to go to the next phase. A mini immune phase will go off, and then you'll be able to fight her again. And it's kind of just a little bit more intense. She does throw more rocks. She has a slam attack. So all you have to do is, again, keep up with everything. Make sure you kill all the bosses and kill that version of the boss. And then a final version of the boss will spawn, and be careful, because this one is the strongest. More zombies will spawn. She will throw purple rocks on the ground that if you go inside of that area where she threw it at, then you'll be electrified to death. So just continue to fight off that boss, and eventually you'll kill it. And you've just completed Astra Malorum. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share, post notification if you guys enjoyed. And I will be covering the next map if you guys need it. If there's a side Easter egg that I didn't do, let me know in the comments. If there's a side Easter egg that I did, they will be linked in the description. Anyways, thank you guys again. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.